Live. It's a sad, sad day in gaming.
Why?
How do you think? Prices are going up. We totally didn't see this coming at all.
Uh, didn't we? Didn't.
That is what we like to call sarcasm, because we totally did. Anyone who didn't see this coming, like, yeah, you failed. As some of my friends like to say, you failed the open book test.
That's pretty hard to do.
That is pretty hard to do, yes. But as a teacher, I've actually seen it happen in real life.
Does it make you call into question the students' literacy?
Yes, it does. 100%. 100% it does. It is not oh man, it just it honestly makes you shake your head and go like, where did I go wrong? What happened here?
As a teacher, I'm disappointed.
Yes. Yeah. No, the whole line of I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed gets taken to the next level with that. It's the next level.
It's literally the answers in front of you in a book. Just go into the glossary, go into the index, go grab it.
Yep. Or it's like those,
couldn't even do that.
I mean, heck, it's even like those tests where the teacher's like, okay, look, here's the test. It is going to be on pages 1 to 5. And I'll give you 1 page of written notes.
Mm-hmm.
And yet kids still fail.
So I saw a Reddit post, and it was, I said, because how big is a little note card? It's a 3x5, right?
3x5, yeah.
Yeah. So the teacher's like, I told people on the test they can have a 3x5, and he's like, most people took that as 3x5 inch note card. But a student of mine just thought, no, it's a 3 foot by 5 foot poster board. So they brought in a poster board and put their notes on it. And you know what? I can't fault them. I should have said inches, and they got to use it. I'm like, now that's a teacher I like. Owning up to their mistake and getting a jolly good laugh out of it.
Honestly, as a teacher, I'd be like, yeah, all right, my bad.
Having a giggle, mate.
But then if he fails still with something that big, not my fault.
Yeah, you gave him every chance.
Sensei, why did you fail my kid? Your kid came in with a 3 foot by 5 foot poster board with literally everything from the test pages. Ask him or her.
Yeah. Man, I do not miss test taking.
Being on the other side is not exactly the greatest either. Grading sucks.
Oh, dude. Did I ever tell you the story about grading Scantrons?
I might have, but go ahead again.
All right, so it's a fun story. So I was a TA, if you remember, and I think it was 8th grade or 9th grade.
I do remember. Yep, I remember that.
No, it was high school, so it would have had to have been like 10th grade or something. So I was a TA for a science teacher, and this is against the rules, but she had me grading other people's work. Mind you, these were our classmates. This was like for biology and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be like if I was in one of her classes, then
exactly
you could have graded my Scantron or whatever.
You took biology, right?
Yeah. Oh, I took AP biology, but yeah, I did.
I might have graded your stuff.
It wouldn't shock me if you did. It would not shock me.
So you remember Scantrons, right? The scan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you scan.
Gotta use number. I hated the rules though. The whole gotta use number 2 pencil. If you're not using the proper pencil, it's not gonna get caught. Which is
I always use mechanical.
It was total BS. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
So the way Scantrons work is you have like it's not cheat sheet, but effectively it's the answer key. Mm-hmm. You run it through the Scantron. And that's what effectively primes the pump, and then you just keep saying other people's Scantrons through and grade it, right? It's automated grading. So and it would make a clicking sound every time they screwed up because then they put the right answer on the Scantron. So every click is a wrong answer, and so when you hear a bunch of clicking, it's like, oh god, oh god, oh Jesus, they got them all wrong, and so. And it's funny about it is there's a kind of like the teacher told me, there's like it's an art knowing if they just are really bad and they really flubbed the test, or the Scantron broke and that it lost the key or something. And there's been a couple times where they run it through and it's like, oh my god, they marked the whole damn thing up. I don't know. I don't know if they passed it or not. So I run another one through in like 2 clicks, if that. I'm like, oh, Scantron's working. They're not.
It's not Scantron. Someone's brain
But
isn't
man,
working.
It was brutal. It's really bad because I would see, oh god, man, this guy's a real knuckle dragger. I thought this guy was smart. Guess not.
Yeah, you see it on a student you think is smart or should do well, and then it's like, how? How?
Yeah.
What? This doesn't make any sense.
I also entered grades and stuff too, which is never fun because it's like, oh man, what if I fat finger something? Because it's just little data entry, and I hate doing data entry even now. I'm always scared about screwing stuff up. Just thank God I've been programming so I can have a computer do it for me. Yeah, Scantrons. I imagine they're still being used because they sure beat manually grading multiple choice.
They are used for like multiple choice style tests and things like that, but there are other classes where you can't really use a Scantron.
I am 100% going to use Scantrons for like English essays kind of thing. I'm just gonna have like instead of having to write an essay of a Scantron, the Scantron's like, I don't know how it would work out, but I'll only tell you, I don't want to read essays, but I do want to run Scantrons. All I'm saying, having to read essays sounds terrible.
It sucks. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Thank God I never had to do that.
That's why I prefer to do project style tests where the grading is more like either they're giving a presentation or I grade, how they got things done and everything like that, which is a lot easier because you'll grade step by step and say, okay, look, part 1, you get this done, you come show it to me, and then I just to myself I mark it down. I'll mark it as something, and then by the end I was like, okay, if you got all 5 marks here, then great, you get an A. If you get this, you get a B. If you didn't do anything and you slept in class, well, guess what? You get to meet my friend, Mr. F.
Savage. Just terrible of you.
Oh, no.
I hate presentations.
The consequences of their actions,
I hate presentations so much.
Well, it's not just doing presentations. It could be group work. It could just simply be, showing me a PowerPoint presentation that they made or something like that. Like, it's not, there might not even be a actual presentation to do. It's just simply make it in this format, essentially.
Yeah.
Because one thing I think that some people always forget is that there are people who are actually very smart and they're very good in classes, but they cannot test well. They just can't. And so as a teacher, a good teacher, it is your job to find ways that you can properly evaluate people, in different stances and everything. Do you do a more typical test? Do you do a multiple choice test only? Do you do a project? Do you do a presentation? You have to look at all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, there are some times where you do have to give some form of normal tests, and you need to also be able to make sure that the students can understand it and that they can understand it in multiple different ways so that regardless of how it shows up on the test in a question formatted, that they don't look at it and go, this is not exactly how I saw it in class, so thus I can't do it. You need to be able to show multiple different ways about how that is going on there. Looking at you, mathematics, there is a reason that people hate mathematics. So because so many teachers, and I've seen this before when we were in school, and as someone who's a teacher right now himself, that they only show you one way and then they move on to the next one, and then the test will come up and word it in a completely different way. And it's like, it is your job to be able to teach them both different ways and make sure that they properly understand the subject and everything. And that's not just in math, by the way, that's in anything. Just so happens to be in the subject that I know a lot of people hate. And then when you actually show them what this means and how they should be looking at it, regardless of how it's worded, then they can start to understand it.
So you bring up an interesting topic, because that's one thing I didn't really realize until I was well past school and very much an old man.
Of course, not being the boomer you are, right?
Okay, boomer. Mathematics, they really need to push application of mathematics. I don't give a damn about trigonometry. I don't understand why they taught it to me. I didn't understand what the purpose of it was, other than to waste my damn time.
Oh, I mean, again,
And
using math as a proper example, right? What is the biggest question any math teacher ever gets, or that we even asked ourselves when we are in school? When am I ever going to use this in real life? Right?
exactly.
When are you going to use it? You're not going to sit there and say like, oh, I know the right angle of this triangle, and this is going to tell me this. Even though technically you actually do use a lot of the math that you learn throughout school, you just use it without realizing it, and you're not using it by plugging in random equations and then figuring out exactly what you do. If you simply cross a street or you try to cut across a small lane, whether you're walking or in a car, you are technically doing trigonometry and other things that you learned in mathematics. You're just not applying the whole, equation part to it and everything, which is a lot of people just like, it's just memorizing equations. What's the point of it, right? So as a teacher, you need to be able to show people that both the equation side of things, but at the same time, also forget equations. Just look at this. If I'm crossing from this, stop sign over here because I need to go to this building or something like that, how do I solve that or something, right? And you were basically training their brains to be like, oh, well, this is what I do. I'm not sitting there punching something into my calculator to understand what the angle is. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to look at about a 45-degree angle. I'm going to make sure that nothing's coming, and I'm going to make sure I do that, things like that, right? That's what has to be done.
So I have a really, really funny story about that. So when I was in college, I'm terrible at math, for the record, awful at math. I was taking calculus, and I was taking a physics class that I was called Physics for Dummies. It was a physics class that did not require
super easy, but yeah. Anyway, continue.
Well, funny you bring that up. So I'm taking calculus at the same time as I'm taking Physics for Dummies. Physics for Dummies is physics without having to take a calculus class. Right? And you think if you know physics, you think that's weird. How do you do that? So I'm in this class, also in calculus. I'm saying this physics, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, so the formula for I forgot how it goes with how the derivatives work for it. I think it's distance is the top, and then speed and acceleration."
Yep.
So I was seeing like the full like the distance formula, and then I saw the speed formula. Like, wait, that looks like a derivative, and then I saw acceleration. Like, hold up. I've seen this before. Something's up here.
Yeah.
And then it kind of clicked. I think like the week or two after that happened, we actually talked about it in calculus.
Yep. That's why it's recommended that you don't take physics before you take calculus. You take calculus, and then even if it's only calculus 1, and you don't need to understand every itty bitty thing about calculus. But as long as you understand the basics, it makes physics so much easier. At least at those same levels. If you're trying to go like into your master's degree of physics, then obviously you need to understand the other stuff. But you get the idea. So
I mean, physics was just built for. Calculus was built for physics. That's where it came from. That's where Isaac Newton, derived, for lack of a better phrase, terrible phrasing, but derived calculus was for describing physics.
Yep. Exactly.
That's why it was so interconnected.
Yep, there is a reason that has to go. But that's still funny.
But yeah, get learned.
Aren't you glad that you're not in school anymore?
Oh God, you have no idea. It's funny how much easier a job is in certain ways and how much worse jobs are than being in school.
They have their pros and their cons. Anything you'd expect.
And one thing, I don't know when you or where we even teach this at, but just how to work with other people is not a skill I think taught well enough in school.
There's a lot of things in school that was never taught well, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this one, I think, outside of being straight up a guy who works absolutely alone, doesn't talk to anyone, you need interpersonal skills, and you need to be able to work with people who are real asshats. And I think that's just not a skill taught well enough in school. I don't know how you would teach it. I don't know when you would teach it. And I don't know what application you would teach it. But God, there
are different ways that you can approach it. And granted, these are the only ways that I personally have used them myself, is that, you can do the most obvious stuff like a group project or something like that. But obviously then you have the complications of if some people take advantage of the other students and everything like that, and only one person does everything, which still can teach them some life lessons essentially. But you also have to be able to look at, maybe not even assigning a test or a presentation, but simply in class and be like, okay, I put you guys into groups of 3. Each of you has an assignment on your desk that is going to work together with the other people. Some of them won't. You need to be able to talk and have discussions and, figure things out without blowing each other's heads off, essentially. So, there's doing things like that. There's multiple different ways of doing it. It's just that, unfortunately, also, obviously, it comes down to each individual teacher. It comes down to the particular school you could be at. And it also comes down to the students. I mean, the horror stories I've heard about teachers back in the States compared to other countries, I'm just like, holy crap. I easily would have quit being a teacher if I still lived in the States. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah. They don't get paid enough.
Oh, well, not just that.
The hell they go through.
The hell they go through, and all the stories I've heard across the country. I'm just like, yeah, no, I would not have gone into teaching if I knew I was not going to be moving to another country. Like, I would have been like, nope, done. I'll go do typical business degree or something like that. I'll be that entrepreneur that everyone says, yeah, just do that. It's easy. Then you can make money.
Yeah, it's not worth it here.
Oh, God, no. It is not worth it at all. I'm just like, everything I hear about it, I'm just like, oh, God. No, thank you. Yeah. Not happening. No, I'm good.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's worse than it was when we were in school too. So it's like, well, shit.
I mean, at least the majority of us, we actually listen to our teachers and everything. Now it sounds like they don't give two shits.
we had bad class. I remember being in English class. I mean, we had our social studies class, where we literally sat outside the classroom.
Oh, that was 8th grade. It
was so bad. And my mom would come pick me up, and she at first thought I was in trouble because I was outside the classroom. I'm like, no. Quite the opposite, Madre.
We actually did the work, though. Like, we actually
we sat outside to get away from the cacophony.
Because who was the teacher? Was it Miss?
It was Sherman.
Yeah, Miss Sherman. I remember that. Okay, yeah. So she was just like, she's like, you guys are like, just go outside and just do this. She had to wrangle the class.
You asked initially if we go outside, and we just kept doing it.
We just kept doing it to the point where, yeah,
it was always assumed we would just be outside the classroom.
Yep, I do remember that. Yes. Oh god, that was funny.
It's also a long ass time ago.
It was. I mean, 8th grade, we were 14 years old. Jeez, we're 30. Dude, that's 20 years ago.
Yep.
Oh god, I feel so old right now.
It feels like 20 years though. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah. It's not like those things where it's like, oh yeah, it feels like it was yesterday. No, it feels like a long time ago.
When we talk about it like this, it definitely feels like that. But I'm not gonna lie, there are still some days where I'm just like, I do not feel like I'm 34. I feel like I am still like in my late teens, early 20s, and like, am I doing life right? Like, I know I do all of the stuff that they say. Yeah, if you do this, you're an adult. Go to work, pay taxes, bills, all that stuff. Like, I do all that, but it doesn't feel like it sometimes. I'm just like.
So I've had that thought, and I've just kind of chalked it up to, as a child, you always kind of think of being an adult as some sort of like gate you have to go through, for lack of a better phrase. Like, it's just some sort of pomp and circumstance of you're an adult now, right? Yeah. There's pomp and circumstance. You go through the gate, and all of a sudden everything's different. There's a defined moment when you become an adult. And it turns out that is in fact not in any way the case. The adults, as a child, you always think, oh, the adults know what they're doing. No, they don't. They're just as clueless as you are now as a child.
Well, I think the other part to it is that we also think, like, if I look like my parents in terms of like what they did at that particular time, oh, I have finally crossed that gate line, essentially, right? Where in reality, we learn about it real quick after we're done with college, and it's like, oh, so nobody knows what they're actually doing.
Nope. So it's the biggest lie
and people can claim online all they want. It's just like, no, you don't know shit. You actually. There's one thing the internet has both been good and bad about. It's showing us who can spew the most BS and who can make others believe it.
Well, that's a tale as old as time. I mean, cult leaders have been around since the day of cavemen.
Pretty much, yeah. Me make wheel. Wheel make your life better. Are you sure? One wheel only makes life good. Okay, this guy know well. All right, we're going to get into some topics I want to talk about first. And the first one that I want to talk about is, of course, PlayStation raises prices and gaming is officially a luxury. It is not a hobby anymore. It is a luxury. Or you can technically say it's a hobby for people who are rich. Other than that, it is a luxury. And honestly, I don't think anyone should be surprised at these price hikes. We've seen it literally in life itself. We've seen it in computer parts. We've seen Xbox really did it last year. Nintendo didn't do it with hardware, but they did do it with all their accessory stuff. And they will 100% be doing a price raise sometime this year. When? We don't know. How much? We don't know. But it is going to happen. And anyone saying that it is not going to happen, you are in complete denial. And I hope you are ready for whenever it does happen. So PlayStation raising the prices should not really have been too much of a shock to anybody. I think the thing that didn't really, I don't know if shock is the right word, but I was going to simply use it for me personally, was A, how much it went up, and two, the fact that it happened now in March, when for the last 4 or 5 months, we have heard that, oh, they got enough RAM for their consoles and everything to at least survive into the end of 2026. And it's March 28th at the time that this is happening right now. So I think that's right there is kind of like this came a little bit sooner than I thought it was going to, have happen. I was personally expecting like maybe September, we would start to hear rumbles about it. So that was there. And to anyone who is hoping to get a PlayStation 5 console right now, I would go get it right now if you have the money. If you don't have the money, don't go and get it. I'd honestly say wait out. I personally, and this might be a hot take, so let me know, I do not think GTA 6 is going to have the huge effect on players finally jumping to the PlayStation 5, aka the current gen consoles. The big jump that these companies and all them think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen as much anymore. Yes, there are still going to finally be people who do make that jump, and I'm sure GTA 6 will probably still sell decently well, but I don't think it's going to be as big as a lot of people predicted, pre-RAM shortage and price increases on everything, basically. But as always, I'm joined by the one and only Lemon. Lemon, I want to know your personal thoughts on this, because you actually literally bought a PS5 Pro, I want to say back in October or November of last year is when you got it. And what are your just thoughts on all this stuff? Do you think Nintendo will raise the prices? Do you think we're going to see more price increases? Because again, if you look at something like computer RAM right now, $700 on average is what I'm finding personally. What are your thoughts on all this?
So the jump is a lot bigger than I was expecting. I knew prices were going to go up. I mean, the economy as it is kind of forcing their hand. They could have not, raised the price though, right? It's especially with the way the money works now for, say, Sony and Microsoft, to a lesser extent Nintendo. It's all made on people playing Fortnite, right? It's all made on that kind of thing. Funny enough,
it's starting to lose things now, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. I do think the timing of it's interesting. You mentioned GTA 6. I think they're doing it now as opposed to closer to GTA 6 to avoid you're just jacking up the price because we know, people are going to want to buy your console for GTA 6, which is very much part of their formula for this. They didn't need to really, I'm firmly tinfoil hat. They did not need to raise prices. They could have stuck it out long.
Oh, I bet they could. I bet they could have, yeah, easily. I mean, technically, almost a lot of these businesses could, but they're raising their prices because guess what? They got to make a line go up, like typical companies. I think
that's the problem because, I mean, what does Sony have outside of PlayStation at this point?
Internationally, not much. In Japan, they definitely have a lot more. I mean, they've got like social insurances, they've got TVs and all that stuff, but that's only really in Japan. In terms of internationally, which we know that they obviously make a lot more money due to how weak the yen is and everything right now, not much, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, they're a shell of themselves from the 90s and early 2000s. Like it's just
I guess cameras, maybe
anymore.
cameras. I don't know if those are still doing well for them, but I guess cameras technically.
Cameras? Who uses it? Just use your iPhone. Like,
yeah,
they pretty much just have PlayStation, so they really need to kind of glue the stone here. They need to get as much out of it as they can. So, but at the end of the day, though, as with all items, the number one rule of economics is you will price an item to what the market can withstand. So you keep pushing prices up, eventually the market pushes back. Will the market push back on this? I think this might be the tipping point. I mean, you're looking at $650. Oh my God. I'm reading your screen. $650 for a PS5, a non-pro just normal PS5. That is insane when, taken to the US, because I'm an American who cares about anyone else outside of America, right? We're paying $5-6 for a gallon for gas now.
That's gonna keep going up.
I can't leave the grocery store without paying at least $50 now. I don't think, if people were gonna buy a PS5 and they haven't yet, they're not going to. They're likely gonna sit on it, because why should they? I mean, everyone loves to beat the dead horse that there's no new games for PS5, but really there's not. I mean, GTA 6 is going to be a PS5 exclusive. If it doesn't sell well enough, I would not surprise me if they pushed the game down to the PS4, because they probably want to put it on the Switch too.
Yeah, I mean, if they found a way to get it onto Switch too, they could get it onto last gen consoles. I could see it happen.
If anyone could do it, I would think it'd be Rockstar. They're very talented at their engines.
Well, assuming they don't, assuming they don't have a secondary team do it, because looking at you, GTA trilogy.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I just really, I can't see anyone who doesn't yet own this console thinking, now's the time to buy this. Well, I think they're just they're probably going to wait till the PS6 at this point. So I don't know what this seems to, in my mind, almost as boneheaded as what Microsoft's doing with the Xbox. No one's going to buy this. It's too expensive now, and they're just going to wait for the PS6.
I mean, when we got our original PS5s, I know you updated to the Pro, but when I still have the original PS5 with the attached disc already, or the disc drive on there. Like, I can't remove it or anything, right?
Yeah, it's the original one. Yeah.
Right. That was originally what, $499, I believe, and then the digital only was $450, or was it $400? $450.
400. I think it was $400 for the digital, and then $500.
$500. Okay, with the disc drive. Okay. So, like, I got it for $500. I think actually I technically got it for $600 because of obviously all the scalping that was going on during those days. Lovely time to have been a gamer during those days, you know? and again, in the past, PS2, PS3, PS4, we saw those prices go down. Do you remember those old PS3 commercials with, I can't remember his name, but there is the guy who made those amazing commercials to be like, well, you know, for the best gaming console Blu-ray.
Kevin Butler.
Yeah.
Kevin Butler.
Loved those commercials. I love those so much. Okay. Like, that's what, I mean, you could get a PS3 eventually for like $299. Like, and it came with like a game, and it came with like, I think 6 months or a year of PlayStation Plus sometimes. Like, it was like, you could get some good deals. And now with this generation, where have we seen the price go? Up, up, up. Like, again, like you said, now instead of $500 for the base console that I currently have right now, $650 right now. If you want the digital version, which was originally $400, now it's $600. And if you got the PS5 Pro, which was originally $650, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I think it was $700.
I thought it was $700 with the disc drive if you bought the disc drive. Okay. Okay, so $700. So now it's $900. $900 for a console. Okay. And before the PC crowd tries to come in and say, just build a PC or buy pre-built,
good luck.
Good luck. Good luck, especially with those prices on storage, on RAM, on graphics cards. Like if you find something great, but the whole, even on the PC side of things where it's like, oh, just make a very modest build and then just upgrade over time. That's not even a thing to really do anymore unless you've got, again, the money, right? I mean, again, look at RAM prices right now, right? There's a reason we are in what's called the RAM Armageddon right now. Because if you just try to go, just go on to Amazon or to wherever you go shopping for computer parts. Just type in, you don't even need to type in a brand or anything. Type in 32 gigabytes. Heck, you know what? I'll knock it down for you. 16 gigabytes. 16 is not exactly the norm anymore, but between 16 and 32 should be around where you're going. If you're going to try and convince me that 8 is, then get out of here, because 8 hasn't been the norm for quite a while. But go on, type it in. See how much the price is. And then you've got to buy all the other parts. And then you've got, if you're a brand new PC builder, you've got to get the peripherals as well. Keyboard, monitors, all that stuff. Heck, I've been seeing monitors go up in price sometimes. So it is expensive no matter where you go. Like it's absolutely ridiculous right now. And I mean, if you look at it on screen right now, look at the price in the UK or in Japan, for example. Right? In Japan, because of how weak the yen is right now, okay? In a perfect world, all you would do is you would simply take the yen price and you would move the decimal place over 2 points to the left. And that used to be how you would generally calculate how much the yen to the dollar is. It was usually 100 yen to $1 US, right? In a perfect world, or around that right now. But right now, it's like over 150 yen to the dollar. And with not only how weak the yen is, but wages not going up as well, because obviously we're all in a crap economy right now. We are in the bad timeline. Let's just personally say that right now, okay? Looking at that PS5 price, a normal PS5 price right there, 97,000 yen. That feels, if you have Japanese yen, not US dollars, if you have Japanese yen, like someone like I do, who's someone who lives here in Japan, that feels like paying almost $1,000 for a PS5. That PS5 Pro, that feels like paying $1,400. That's what it feels like if you were on the Japanese yen. You want to know why PlayStation doesn't do very well right now in its own home country? That is one of the big reasons. You want to know why the Switch 2 does extremely well? Because they've been able to take that Japanese-only version, and aka the language version, and they have kept that price down. Now, I do know that the Japanese-only PS5 is staying at, I believe it's 5,500 yen, so that feels like $550. So that is staying there. So I don't know how well it's particularly done. Every single time I see those Japanese charts about how well consoles sell every week, Switch 2 is always at the top, and then the Switch and the PS5 always go back and forth depending on the month. So maybe it's working a little bit, but overall, it's not pretty. It is not pretty right now. So, and I've seen plenty of people I know who live over in the UK, over in Europe. It's like, it is ridiculous right now. And anyone thinking that the next gen consoles, whenever those come out, rumors have been somewhere between somewhere in 2027 or hopefully late 2028 or 2029. I personally would love 2030, not 2030. I would personally love that myself. Do not even think that, if you think these are going to be $500 consoles, wake up to reality right now. That's not going to happen. Minimum, I think we see $700 minimum for those next consoles. That Xbox Helix thing or whatever it's going to be, and whatever, the PlayStation 6 is going to be, minimum 700. It would not surprise me in the least if they were even 800, 850 potentially. Then you also got to tack on for at least the PS6. Most likely there's going to be the disc drive there. I don't know if the PS5 one can also be used. Most likely not, but you never know. And then you got to get your first game. Now, luckily, those consoles will be able to play previous gen games and everything like that. So even if you got it, but you didn't get whatever new game is there, at least potentially you've got it. But I've got a very simple but realistic thing to tell everyone right now. If you are wanting the next gen console, whenever it comes out, right now, right now. Don't wait until next year. Don't wait until there. Start setting aside 25 to 50 bucks a month. Take it out, physical cash if you need to. Put it into a little safe, put it into a bag. I don't care what you do. Start saving now for the next gen consoles if you truly want to get one. Or if you want to, do that, but then use it for a PC if you want to. Because you should not be spending $700 on RAM. Just saying that right now, okay? Save up that money now, and then when the price finally does drop, or hopefully at least somewhat level out in terms of the RAM situation, I do not see the console prices going back down anytime soon. Then at least you've got the money saved up and you can go ahead and finally get it. But do not wait to just simply, oh, I need to buy this right then and there. Just start saving up now. Just do it. I just actually get paid. I get paid once a month here in Japan. I know in like the States you get paid twice a month, I believe, Lemon. But
yeah,
every paycheck, just take out a little bit. That's all you're going to do. I've already taken out my first set because I get paid like in a couple weeks. And I'm just like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to do it right now for this because I already obviously got paid for the month of March. I'm taking out, it's 5,000 yen, which is, it should be the equivalent of 50 bucks. It's actually technically like $31 and $32. But I've took off 5,000 yen, put the bill into my little safe. I'm just going to be doing that every month now because I'm not going to go and buy a PS5 Pro. I had thought about it a couple years ago, potentially selling my PS5. But at this point, I'm just like, nah, I'm just going to hold on to it for now. And I'll wait for the PS6 to come. And my PC, that's going to be on backlog for quite a while with combination of storage prices. Storage actually isn't technically that bad. I actually did look at a 1 terabyte. It is still higher than it should be, but it's not nearly as bad as RAM right now. And then GPUs, at least within Japanese yen and everything, is still freaking crazy. I mean, like a 5070 right now feels like paying $1,600 with what it is right now. So, and no, don't even try to do the whole AMD side of things because AMD and NVIDIA, they're basically the same price over here in Japan in terms of their GPUs.
But you know what, Tallen, though? I mean, AMD makes the best GPUs when they work. Right?
When they work, right? When your drivers finally work, yeah. Can you get in contact with the finals? We haven't been able to play because your video card just crashes every single time.
Hey, it's not my fault. They don't want to put the devs in to fix the game when Arcgrave's doing so well.
Yeah, I know. I mean, heck, you couldn't even play Marvel Rivals half the time. So
I feel like it didn't crash that often.
You crashed 3 times within like the span of the 3 weeks that we played. Bobby and I had to.
It's only 3 weeks that we played, though. Oh man.
Yep. We didn't play Rivals that long, because like when we started. Well, okay. To be fair, when we originally started with Rivals, you did. It worked out fine for a while, and then I think there was some update, whether you updated your drivers or you didn't, or whatever the case was. And then the next like 3 weeks in a row when we streamed and we would game together, you crashed.
Yeah,
and then you had to get out, reset the computer, and then it finally worked. But it's just like,
hey man, I was gonna buy an NVIDIA chip, but they wouldn't sell me any because they couldn't stock it.
Yep. Well, and now with the way AMD is doing things, you can't even get half of the features that they keep promoting.
That's just a software company in general.
Oh yeah, no, that is. Yeah. But yeah, if you are wanting a next gen console, the whatever, the PS6, the Xbox, again, Helix isn't the actual name; it's just what the project's called. Start saving now, every month.
Yeah,
a little bit. Take it out. Just do it, because otherwise we've already been seeing. We've been seeing it for definitely a few years now, but especially now going forward, more and more people are going to be priced out of this hobby because it's a luxury now. It's not a hobby anymore. It is a luxury. So if you want to be able to get it and you want to still be in gaming is still something you enjoy doing, set aside some money every month. And don't try to fall for those little like loan things that we've been seeing with like the PS5, I believe, over in some countries in Europe, and even in Japan they have one here where you basically rent the console for a fee every month essentially, but you don't actually own it. Don't do that, okay? Save your money now. And then eventually when they do come out, then you'll be able to buy one. Again, I calculated this out last night. If I set aside the 5,000 yen or $50 essentially every month from now until I said the end of 2027, just as a pure example. If it goes later than that, great. That's more money that I save. I'd be up around $600 or $700. I was like, perfect, right? And then that last little 100 or 200, depending on what it is, okay, I can justify that, just at the next paycheck essentially. But I'm not going to sit here and wait for whatever console price is going to hit, because there is also a chance that they do, I'm not going to say the PS6, essential or whatever, and then a PS6 premium or whatever you call it. I don't want to call it a pro, because the pro is always halfway through the generation or whatever. And then there's also rumors about their PlayStation 6 handheld style thing. We don't know how much that's going to be, but you can bet your butt it's going to be expensive. It's probably going to be around $500 would be my guess. So just get ready. It's going to be expensive. So save now. Otherwise, it's not going to be pretty, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Also, I don't know who's going to be buying a PS5 right now. It's 6 years into the generation. Who are these people who don't yet own the console?
Half of the PlayStation 4 players who never made the move over because all they do is play Fortnite.
Sure, but they see this price and think, now's the time.
Oh yeah, no. And that's why I said
I'm gonna wait for the PS6.
Yeah, no, and that's why I even said I don't think GTA is gonna make as big of a splash as they thought they would, because yes, you are gonna get some people just for GTA 6 who will come out, buy the console, and then buy GTA 6 when it comes out. But there are a lot of people who are not going to, and they'll simply just keep saving their money for whatever the next gen console is, because guess what? The PS6 will be able to play GTA 6 because it'll be able to play PlayStation 5 games. Or if you actually think that, Rocksteady is going to Rockstar, sorry. If you think that Rockstar is not going to make a definitive edition PS6 version or whatever, of course they're going to do that. They did the exact same thing with GTA 5. Like, they're going to do that. Or again, even if you don't get that, if they don't that version is not available right at the get-go, you can just simply buy the PS5 version and it's going to run on your PS6. Because also another thing that I think a lot of people are not ready to hear, even though we've been saying it for quite a while with the PS4 to the PS5 jump, the jump from PS5 to PS6 visually and how people have expected consoles to make that jump, or even just tech hardware in general, especially from the old days, that jump is going to be so small that it's not going to be that big of a deal. So yeah, just save now. If you don't have a PS5 to this day, either buy it within the next week or simply wait for the PS6 is what I'm going to say, because it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. So that's what I would personally say.
Nah, just wait for the PS6.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah.
You don't need a PS5 at these prices. Not worth it.
Nope.
Especially not that Pro. Ugh. Pisser ain't that great.
Nope. And it's funny because, the whole joke about, I'm going to tell my grandkids about this and they're never going to believe me. This is literally what I'm going to be telling my whatever future grandkids when I'm like 90 years old and be like, yeah, back in my day, consoles went down in price. And they're going to look at me like I'm an old crazy man and be like, Grandpa, let's get you back to the retirement house. They need to give you your medicine.
Back in my day, my controllers were wired. We didn't have batteries.
Back in my day, there was a start button.
Back in my day, we had these things called memory cards.
Oh, God.
They stored our games and we brought them to our friends' houses.
Back in my day, we played couch co-op. There was no online co-op.
When my friend fucked me over in the game, I just punched him.
Yeah,
because he was on the couch
pillow
next
on the
to
couch.
me.
Yeah, it met his face real fast.
I punched his arm so hard, there's a welt for 3 days. I gave him a candy bar so he wouldn't tell his mom. I didn't want to get in trouble.
It's funny but true. It's funny but true. It's gonna happen.
Well, who even knows couch co-op anymore? That's a rare thing right now.
I think honestly, the Switch, to my knowledge, is probably the only way you can actually do real couch co-op right now. Of course,
I mean, there's some there's kind of his beat 'em up renaissance right now, because the Scott Pilgrim just came out. They've been dropping a bunch of these Teenage Mutant Turtles games. that are pretty fun couch co-op. But like there's like side scroller beat 'em ups.
Well, then you
So
have
they're
the
kinda
people who will
renaissance now.
still do those LAN parties and everything. Like obviously, yeah, they'll still do it, but like majority. I mean, it's like the physical versus digital arguments that are still held online. Majority of people go digital and they play online. That's what a majority of the normal gamers do.
And I'm a hardcore nerd. I've tried to buy physical games. And I really only play single player games.
Well, I mean, there's a reason I haven't been signed up for PlayStation Plus in the last 4 years because
Yeah,
it's a ripoff. So
quite a ripoff.
I don't like paying for my online, and all those games I already have. So
I bought Plus for a month just so I can move my games and.
I remember that. Yeah,
from
you needed Plus to
PS5
move all
PS5
your
Pro.
game stuff from your old PS5 to your Pro. I do remember
Because
that.
it wasn't. It's too. I forgot how to do it without Plus, but it was like literally hooking both up to the network and stuff. I'm like, man, I'll pay the 15 for the.
I don't got time for this.
I'll pay $15 to save myself that headache.
There is a reason, but yeah, no, it's God, it's hard to be a gamer right now. It's really hard. So
hard to be a gamer keeping up with modern games, man. Yeah. Super Nintendo emulation's amazing. GameCube, Dolphin, ooh baby, like playing old school games, absolute renaissance right now. Like this is the best time to play retro games.
Yeah,
playing modern games, that's a whole other can of worms. But like playing old school, man. I mean, well, emulating them. I mean, sorry, playing games on non-consoles for all the Nintendo lawyers listening to us.
Yeah. They're coming for you. The Nintendo Ninja Warriors are coming for you.
Damn ninjas. No, I mean, now is the time to like, even cell phones are more than capable of playing like PS2 and GameCube and stuff. So
I'm about to say, hasn't GameCube been on phones nowadays or something like that?
Yeah,
somehow? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it now. I mean, gaming's in a solid spot, provided you're not trying to play the latest and greatest.
Yeah. If you and that actually comes to the whole fact of just trying to expand your horizons and not if you truly want to enjoy gaming right now, you do not try to do the latest and greatest stuff. You try to broaden your horizons and you try to play those smaller games and older games. That's what you try to do right now. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, I just play, Fortnite every single day. And it's just like, fine. I mean, you're missing out, but we get to make fun of you for being that brain dead. So it's just the truth. It's the truth. All right. It is your choice. You can do what you want, but we at the same time get to make fun of you for it. So
savage.
All right. And actually, because we did bring up older games and digital and physical and everything, we get to go on to another topic, which is talking about Nintendo. And oh boy, did the internet have fun with this one. Okay, so it turns out that starting with the new games in 2026, first party, I should mention this, by the way. So third party and all that stuff, they obviously do whatever they do, but Nintendo is actually making a change. Now, in terms of the argument of is this good or bad, we can get to that in a minute here. But as of May 2026, so in about a month and a couple weeks, basically, with the first game being Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, digital versions of Nintendo first-party games are going to go down. And the physical is going to stay. Woo! That sneeze came out of nowhere. So basically, if you want the cheaper version, just looking at it from face value, which we know right now, for only one game, we don't know about other stuff. If you want to play the quote unquote cheaper version, you're going to go for the digital version of the game. And if you want the physical version, you're going to have to pay, well, technically the normal price right now. So I believe the Yoshi game is supposed to be $70 physical. And so it's going to be $60 digital, right? Which is kind of the way we originally thought maybe digital and physical would have been all those years ago. I don't know if you remember this, but I vaguely remember the conversation being like, well, the reason physical kept going up was because you had to make the boxes, you had to buy the discs and everything and all of that. And so oh, shouldn't digital technically lower the price because you don't have to ship any of that stuff? And it never happened until now with Nintendo. Now, again, like I stated beforehand, there is the discussion and the debate and arguments or whatever the case is about, is this good? Is it technically a price increase on physical, even though, again, it was already going to be $70? Is it a price decrease because it is with digital, but you are basically still making it more expensive, or you're keeping the more expensive version for the physical game lovers, even though, like we've already stated, and many articles have talked about this over the years, that physical media is on the way out, good or bad, whatever side you're on. A lot of people think it's good, and a lot of people buy digital games because, PC, for example, they haven't been physical in who knows how long, right? But obviously they're on Steam, and no matter how many times you update your system, Steam is going to keep your library there, and it's going to keep going on unless you do something stupid to get yourself banned. But with the consoles especially, and Nintendo definitely has done this beforehand as well, is that if those stores shut down, which they have shut down past online stores, then you lose access to that stuff that you bought. Luckily, with going from something like the PS4 to the PS5 and then going into the PS6, the whole backwards compatibility and the store and the stuff that you have bought can be played, and you just simply download those and you can continue to play going forward, assuming that they continue that, though, because they want to keep in that ecosystem. But the Switch to Switch 2 is the first one for Nintendo. The Wii Store and the Wii U, I believe, could be worked together, but then I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Lemon, the Wii shop has shut down?
I think so, yeah.
I think it has. I know the DS shop did, and I want to say the 3DS shop did as well, or it's going to soon.
I'm pretty sure it did also.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, there's a reason that some people have stuck with physical, because at least buying it, I mean, like right here, I've got Metroid Prime 2 or Metroid Prime 4, physical version. This I can still play when that shop eventually shuts down. So it's, again, we can have that debate and that discussion about, is this good or is it bad? But the bottom line is that the cost of physical games is staying at that $70 price point, and the digitals are going back down to what we used to have, which was $60, because it's been $70 on the other platforms for quite some time now. Nintendo made that jump to 70, and in the case of Mario Kart World, they made it up to 80, but that's been the only game so far. The big question that a lot of people are asking, though, is for future games going forward. So let's say the new rumored Ocarina of Time remake that was just kind of quote-unquote revealed or leaked by Nate the Hate, I believe is his name, that sometime this holiday season we are going to be getting a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. And so is that game going to be $80 physical? Is it going to be $70 digital? Or is it going to be $70 physical and $60 digital? If I was a betting man, I'd probably say it's going to be $80 physical and $70 digital, because guess what? With Tears of the Kingdom, that was the first game on Switch that made the jump to $70. So that would be my guess. But Lemon, I want to ask you, do you think this is a good push to make digital games cheaper? Even though, again, you also have to remember that with the Switch 2 games now being a lot bigger. I think, funny enough, Switch 2, gamers, they are finding out just how big some games can be now because of Switch 1. I will say, oh man, it spoiled us with how small those games are. Because I had so many games that were actually digital, because they were definitely smaller games and weren't the whole first party stuff. And I'm like, man, 5 gigabytes for this? And now most of those games, because of obviously the texture resolutions and all that stuff, and whatever things we want to talk about, those are now getting close to 100 gigabytes for some of these games. But anyway, back to my question, what I want to ask you though. Good change or bad change? And do you think others will follow suit, aka PlayStation, Xbox, things like that? And where do you think this new leaked Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, where do you think the price is going to fall? Go.
It's a remake. I think it's going to fall under 80 digital, 90 physical. The problem with this all is going to be...
Wow, okay.
So Mario Kart's $80. Physical, digital, whatever. It's an $80 game, right? there's nothing stopping Nintendo from saying this new Zelda game, you guys want it, it's 80 digital. And because physical costs so much, it's $10 extra. It's 90 physical. And I'm this is not this is 100% them trying to raise prices while not saying they're raising prices.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. These Nintendo fanboys are cultists. I get it. They're in a cult. They don't know any better. But this is them raising prices. They're trying to pass the buck on them for whatever reason. Decide everyone gets a 64 gig card, even though a lot of games don't need it. You mentioned, games are getting bigger, and sure, the Zelda probably would need that card. What we're seeing with games like Final Fantasy, they don't even fit on the 64 gig card.
Yep, they don't fit there anymore. You basically have to go digital, or you go with the game key card. Now,
yeah,
I will say, at least, love or hate the game key cards, at least those game key cards you can give to a friend, you can trade them in, all that stuff. The downside to them, though, is that eventually in 20, 30 years, or whenever those servers do shut down, then it does become useless. But at least right now, regardless of what the haters online say, you can trade those in. You can give, if I had a game key card of whatever game and I gave it to you, you can play it. You do need to download it so it takes up space on your system, and you got to make sure that the card is in there acting like the physical card. You can't take the card out and play the game. You have to have that in there. It's literally just a piece of plastic at that point still, but you have to have it in there. So, but that's why we see games like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I believe the Oblivion remaster, Skyrim, sorry.
Skyrim makes more sense.
Yeah, Skyrim's going on there. And we've seen some other games on there. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the Capcom games like Resident Evil and stuff are on there for that particular reason. So, plus, again, it's cheaper for the companies to ship them that way because they don't have to get the game fully onto the 64 gig one that they only have. Now, I know there have also been rumors that they're supposedly making more variety storage options, 32 gigabytes, 50 gigabytes, whatever it's going to be. But that's all rumors right now. We haven't seen any official stuff to my knowledge. I could be wrong. Or, depending on when you're seeing this, maybe they've done it already. But, it's...
With how the sales of the physical Pocopia have gone, it would not surprise me that Nintendo sees that as, people don't give a damn about...
no. And that is, you see everyone... At least, again, online, we're the minority whenever it comes to those arguments, debates, whatever the case is. Average person, they either buy digital or they just buy the game key cards. They do not give two shits. They do not. Anyone who says they do, I'm sorry, they don't. My nephews, 13, 6, and 5. They don't give two shits about that stuff. My nephew literally just finished his first year of junior high. Guess what he did with his New Year's money that he got? Because you get New Year's money based on how old you are, and also, especially with how big your family potentially is, you can rake in a decent amount every year with that. Guess what he did with that money, though? Go ahead. What? And I'll give you a small hint. What is the biggest game being talked about at this moment right now with Nintendo?
Oh, God. Tomodachi Life.
Not yet. Not yet. No, but you actually talked about it already.
Creepy knees.
It's Pocopia. Yeah, it's Pocopia. And guess what? That's on a game key card right now. What did he do? He walked into the store, bought it, put it in, started playing it. Didn't care. He just didn't.
I explicitly bought it digital. I don't buy digital games generally if I can help it, but I bought it digital because if it's going to be on a game key card, I may as well have the benefit of not having to put a stupid little piece of plastic in my console.
Yeah. And for me personally, like the digital games I have on my Switch 2, obviously you have like the small ones, like the racing game that launched with the launch of the Switch 2 itself. Not Wipeout, but
the Wipeout-esque one.
The Wipeout-esque one, yeah. I literally have it right here on my Switch 2. Fast Fusion, right? Like you can only get that digital. So I got that digital. It's $15. It's fine, But then things like Donkey Kong, Pokemon, I have those physical. And then Prince of Persia, I did buy digital because it was on sale at that particular point, and I wasn't going to buy it physical. So I was just like, it's on sale. It was like $15. like, yeah, I'll buy that because obviously Prince of Persia: Lost Crown is an amazing game and you should go buy it.
Super duper good. I like it.
Yep. Remake, it was either a choice between digital or the game keycard. I said, well, digital, just like you, because I didn't want to keep putting in the little, empty plastic container thing essentially into it. So I didn't want to do that.
At that point, it's just a nuisance. You're not getting anything from it.
Right. There's again, yes, you could, if you're someone who likes to still trade your games and everything, I could still do that. But I didn't plan on trading Integrate or anything like that. So I just bought it. So that's the reason I did it. But yeah, so there's ups and downs to everything from digital to game key cards and everything like that. But regardless though, what are your thoughts when it comes to all these first party games going forward? And do you think others are going to follow suit, whether it's third party or the other platforms, aka PlayStation and Xbox? Do you think they're going to start doing the same thing, make the digital stuff cheaper compared to the physical? Because one benefit for them at least, not for us technically, but for them, is that by going digital like that, making the digital cheaper, you get more people to buy digital, which means they don't pay, whether it's a 30% cut or anything like that, whether it was because it was on another platform or physical with the stores and all that stuff, they don't have to pay that stuff. And it keeps people there longer on that platform essentially, right? And you're at the mercy of whatever those stores have, whether it's the PlayStation Store, the Nintendo Store, anything like that. So do you think other platforms are going to start doing this now?
I think it's going to be even more, distributed is not the right word, but just, I don't think there's going to be any rhyme or reason to anything at all. I think people are going to start pricing things in kind of wackier ways because I think it was at GDC, there's rumors that they were talking about how publishers are now saying how well Clair Obscur did. That was a lower price game, smaller studio, smaller budget, how well that did.
Yeah.
And so they're seeing that as, we can push the price of games down and we get more sales if we price the games a bit lower. So I think we're going to start seeing a lot more games that just have wackier prices, not just digital being cheaper than physical, but straight up, games that are in franchise that are traditionally considered AAA, maybe going at $50 price points, right? Maybe seeing lower price games, smaller experiences to get more sales. Because, it still comes down to you drop a big chunk of change on a game and it doesn't sell well, that developer is effectively gone. And publishers probably one game away from also being gone.
Right.
So this is a bit outside of your question, but I don't think there's going to be a rhyme or reason to doing this. I think it's going to be at the discretion of the publisher in hopes of getting more people to buy it.
Yeah. No,
it's going to be the
it does somewhat relate though, because you could look at what you just said. It's all true. I absolutely do agree that we do see stuff like that. And then, like you said, that prices are going to look a little bit more wacky when it's like, and beforehand it's always been, this is the price. Right? We've known that the much smaller games, the indie games and stuff, yeah, those are obviously cheaper, but usually everything's $70. A few years ago, everything was $60. You get the idea though. Now though, we're going to start seeing things where, all right, how much is this game? Well, this one was made by this small team and it's only digital here, so it's going to be $40. Oh, this first party Nintendo game, this remake of Ocarina of Time, yeah, that's $90 physical. It's $80 digital though. Come on by. PlayStation? Oh, yeah. No. Wolverine. That's $80 physical. $70 for the digital version, though. And guess what? If you buy digital, you get a free skin. You're gonna start just seeing. I think you are. Again, you are absolutely right. You're gonna start seeing that all over the place. It's just gonna instead of saying like, so what's the new normal price now? I don't know. It's whatever they decide it to be. And then the market is going to be, okay, well, it worked for this. It didn't work for this. And I think it's going to be something like that. So I actually do agree with that. And I think to answer the original question that I asked, do others start doing this? Yeah, I could see them doing it, but it's going to look a lot more wacky than what we're used to, I would say.
Yeah. We're very much in unprecedented times as we're seeing with prices of consoles going up, not down. The past does not dictate the future, right? How things went in the past does not mean how it's going to go in the future. Everything's funky. Everything's weird. We're in a weird, unprecedented time. And I really wish it'd be precedented because I'm tired of weird news in the morning.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be extremely nice.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I would love to know who these people are buying these Yoshi games for this kind of price. because it seems expensive. What that demo was, but I don't know. I'm expecting more. This just seems like a wolf in sheep's clothing kind of thing. They're pushing the price up, just trying to dodge admitting such thing.
Well, I think they're using this
Because
right
Nintendo
now.
themselves are also getting hosed too. Like there's rumors that Nintendo is doing everything in their power to not raise prices because things are not going as well as they were hoping. It's Switch 2 is selling like gangbusters, but it's not selling as much as they thought they were going to, allegedly.
From what I understand, it sounds like it's not selling as much as they thought in places like the States, but it's actually doing better than they thought in countries like Japan, which, shocker, that's what happens when you have a console still at a price with the weak ass yen going on right now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, don't get it twisted. The Switch is still the fastest selling console in history right now. Like, nothing to scoff at right now. And to anyone who's going to try and make arguments about, oh, well, they're doing this, or they've dropped this price, or they dropped how many they're asking for and all that kind of stuff. First off, since when have you all of a sudden all become, analytics caring about what the company does and everything like that? Last I checked, you don't have stake in the company, to my knowledge. So what do you care? You don't. You think you just want to get those posts out on social media to, get some clicks and everything like that. So, but I think regardless though, it's gonna be a weird 2020, rest of 2026, I should say. And 2027 is probably gonna be just as weird or even weirder. We'll have to wait and see.
How much weird could it get? We'll find out. Oh, we will find out.
We are definitely going to find out. It is going to be not very fun. That's all I can say right now. I mean, fuck so much.
All right, long pause. I need to use the bathroom.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey. Oh, prices. Why did you always have to go up? We never wanted this, I swear. Actually, you know what? Why don't we do everyone's favorite time here? Amazon. Let's see where RAM prices are right now. All right, let's see. 32 gigabytes, DDR5. One more RAM. Let's just see. Woo-wee. I'm on Amazon JP. I'm on Amazon.com. I change you to US dollars. Yen's always going to make it look a little bit more expensive. So $400 for Crucial Pro DDR5, 32 gigabytes, 400 megahertz. Corsair, 369. Although supposedly it's on sale right now. Real price is $505. If you want to add some RGB in there. Funny enough, none of these are sold by Amazon. They're probably all sold by third party, would be my guess. Let's take a look. Let's see what these are doing right now. This is sold by... Oh, okay. This one's by Amazon. Okay, this one's by Amazon. That's actually not terrible. Let's see. Corsair 1. No, it's by Amazon. Okay. You're Amazon as well. Okay, wow, you're actually all by Amazon. No, Amazon.com at least is doing better. If we go to... let's see here. Go to Amazon.jp. There we go. Let's see. Amazon JP. If I go 32 gigabytes, DDR5, what we got? Ooh, baby. Yeah, that is that is not nice right there. Let's see. We've got, that feels like paying $750. Who is this sold by? Who is this sold by? This one, normal non-RGB, of course. And we'll go with that for now, and we'll go with some crucial. Why not? Let's go with that. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look, okay? So this is sold by somebody who says Design Store, okay? So not sold by Amazon. Tax included. That's Nanamango Sen, which feels, again, if you're in Japanese yen, paying $750. Converted into dollars, that is, let's see, just 25,000 yen to a dollar. That'd be 467 US dollars after everything. Okay. Let's go to the next one. 750. This is sold by, oh, this one's sold by Amazon, so it's white only though. So this is sold by Amazon, but Amazon's still charging $750, it feels like. Jeez, that is ridiculous.
That's brutal.
That is absolutely brutal right there. That, again, sold by Amazon. Ships from Amazon. Oh, sorry. Ships from Amazon, sold by, no, okay, this is not by Amazon. This is shipped by Hyotsuya. I don't know who that is, but okay. Okay, so never mind. So that is still there. $700. This is for Patriot Viper Venom. I don't know how good their RAM is, but 6,000 megahertz. Ships from Amazon, sold by Patriot Memory. Okay. This is your most basic RAM, sold by OC Memory. I don't even know. Never heard of them. 6,000 megahertz would be my guess. Compatible. Okay. So ships from Amazon, sold by Oberklocku Waksu. Okay. And don't know who that is, but sure. Okay. Regardless, this one is $600 essentially. Again, if you're going off of yen. Shipped by Amazon, non-dual shop. That's the kanji for shopper. Oh, that's the kanji for shop. That's the kanji for book. So Honya, non-dual Honya. Okay. That's $740 for non-RGB. So for an extra $10, you can go with the RGB version, if that's what you care about. And then this is the Crucial Pro. This is $740, shipped by Amazon, sold by Imagure Hon something. I don't know what that kanji is personally. But yeah. That's what it's like to be a PC builder in Japan right now.
That's just memory.
That's just memory. Keep in mind right there. Let's take a look at I'll be nice. 1 terabyte M.2. I'll be nice. Let's see. Gen 4s. These are Gen 4s. These aren't even Gen 5s. These are just Gen 4s. Let's see. 200. So let's just, I don't know. We'll open up like the first couple. We'll open up a Western Digital one. And do they have a SanDisk one? We'll open that up. The fact that Samsung is, there's a Samsung one. This is a Gen 5 one. Let's take a look at this right here. Okay, so first one we've got is whatever the heck this brand is. Basically $220, give or take, or 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte. Not even 2 terabytes. 1 terabyte. What how much was a 1 terabyte last year, Lemon? Do you happen to remember by any chance?
I think it was closer to like 100.
Yeah, closer to 100. If I want the 2 terabyte version of this, by the way, $400.
At least it's only doubled. I was expecting to be more than that.
Only doubles, he says. Only doubles. Okay, sure. Okay.
Oh, even in the before times.
Yeah.
More often than not, you'd find, granted, like 1 to 2 usually wasn't bad, but like 2 to 4 was usually more than double the price.
Yep.
Right? Because it's just because it's in a single stick.
This other one is reading rights 5,000 megabytes. 2,200. Yeah. $220. If I want the 2 terabyte, $400. So there's that.
That hurts.
That hurts. Let's look at this Western Digital one. 1 terabyte, $320. Oh, here's your 2 terabyte. 52. Oh my God, 520. Now, granted, I get it. Seller, shipper, not even shipper is Amazon. Seller and shipper is Samugi. If you obviously, but that's the thing is that if you're new to PC building and you try to build this all yourself and you don't understand how this all works, you're gonna get, look at this dude, 4 terabytes. Oh, this one is shipped from Amazon, so it's different. This was shipped by Amazon and sold by TMSY. $1,200 for 4 terabytes. Oh my God. Wow. That's bad.
That's brutal. That is ridiculous.
All right. Let's see. This is the SanDisk Extreme. Okay. 1 terabyte. This is Gen 4, by the way. 1 terabyte is basically $250. Again, feels like paying $250. If you want to go 2 terabyte, $460. Or if you want to go 250 gigabytes, oh my dude, 250 gigabytes is still $180.
I didn't think they even made drives that small.
I know. Jeez. Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Oh my God. All right. So there you go. If you want to buy that stuff, Gen 3. I don't even know what those would be, but okay. And then here is a actual modern Samsung 1 terabyte. Now this is Gen 5. So I get it's, you know, the top of the top here. $400 for 1 terabyte. 2 terabytes. 2 terabytes. $770.
I do not want that.
Yeah,
that is gross.
Now let's go to a more normal one, the 990 Evo Plus, which I believe is Gen 4. Yep, it's Gen 4. $480 for 2 terabytes. $300 for 1 terabyte. I have this right here. It's a 2 terabyte though. I have this one. So this one right here. Right here in this. I also have one in my PC, but I also have it right here. This is great for moving video files and everything. So it sits right in there and everything essentially. Works extremely fast, extremely well, going from Mac to iPad to my 2 Windows desktops, everything. So it works extremely well. Guess how much I got a 2 terabyte for before all this hit? Take a wild guess. Just take a guess.
I'm thinking 250 to 300.
Lower.
$. Oh,
lower.
200.
180.
Wow, is that on sale?
It was a small sale. It was like, you know, save on shipping or something like that. So,
okay.
But yeah, 180
that was cheap.
for 2 terabytes for these. Now, granted, I know back in, you know, a year and a half ago, all we'd have to do as people who would build PCs and everything like that, if you just waited for sales, you could get a lot of this stuff for very good prices and everything. But yeah. And now that exact same M.2 Gen 4, it's Gen 4, it's not Gen 5. Same size. Almost $500.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Fun times, isn't it?
So you're looking at around
Let's do this.
$800 to $1,000 just for
Calculator.
your RAM and storage.
Here's a
Not
here.
CPU,
We'll have a little calculator.
GPU.
We'll have a calculator up right here. Okay. So we said so let's do 30. So we did 32 gigabytes of RAM. You know what? I'll even go with the cheapest one. What was it? 510, I believe. But I'm gonna do it in yen, obviously. Okay. So we'll convert this all in the end to a US dollar price. Okay, which because I know technically it will quote unquote be cheaper. So then we add in. Let's go with a. You want to go with a 1 terabyte or a 2 terabyte? What do you want to go with?
Let's go 1
terabyte. Okay. Now we've been seeing a lot of prices somewhere between 250 to about 350. So why don't we just meet in the middle? Let's just say 300. Okay. Okay. Next we need to go GPU.
Yep.
Average GPU. I don't know. Let's say. Well, let's do two things. Let's look at a 5070. Not even a TI, just a 5070. I'll go with this one. I'll grab that one. And just for the heck of it, I'll grab that one. And then let's also grab the 9070 XT. Look at that. There's the Radeon one. That's Asus. This is... I have no idea what brand that is at all. So, okay. I really just don't know that brand. I'm trying to go with brands that most people would know. Here's ASRock. And here's another Asus one. I don't know what the difference is between this one and this one are because there's a $300 price gap. So
ASRock has always been the budget brand. Asus is the opposite of budget.
Right. So, okay. So let's look. So we got an MSI GeForce 57, 12 gigabytes. Okay. So that's right here. That's $1,100. Okay. If I wanted to go with this, it's the white 2-fan triple black model. I mean, that jumps up $300 for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because of the RGB or the fans or whatever, but there's that. Okay. This is the Asus Dual one. So that is 1,100 basically after tax. If you go with the Prime, which is just another version of it, that is about the same. Nope, that is $1,200. That's going to be on sale. Prime non-overclock version, $1,300. I guess for some reason. And the Tough, which I thought would be the cheaper one, is actually the most expensive one, $1,400 basically. Okay. MSI, and again, this is only 5070s right here. Okay. This MSI one, we looked at this already. It's just, okay. I had moved over to that one. Okay, so that was that. And this, now we're going into the 9070 XT, which is supposed to be AMD's current best card that they sell right now, because they are basically trying to work within the 5070 range of those price models. Essentially, they're not, because it does, if I remember correctly, the 9070 XT does not outperform the 5080 and the 5090. If I remember correctly, some games I think the 5080 it can, but 5090 obviously is the top of the top. So AMD 9070 XT, $1,100, which is just like this one originally. So again, around the same price. This one right here, this ASRock one, this is technically on sale just a little bit. 1,000, I'll call it 1,000, not 1,500, $1,050. Okay, so a little bit cheaper technically. But this is sold by some Pasicone store. I actually might know that store, but I don't know. So there's that one. And both of these are 16 gigabytes, by the way. The 5070s are 12, I believe, across the board. Yeah, 5070s are 12, and then the TI would be 16 gigabytes. But I didn't look at those prices. And then here is the Asus. What's the difference between this one? VGA? I don't know. The box says Tough, but this says VGA for some reason. I don't know why it's such a difference, but what's this one? Oh, this comes with a power supply as well. Okay, this one is just the card, I guess. Okay, so for whatever reason, probably based on the seller, this one is $1,400. Okay, so lowest price, $1,000. Highest we saw about $1,500. I mean, if we wanted to look, I mean, we know that I believe 3060 or something like that is the like most used card on Steam or something like that. So I mean, they don't make them anymore. So why don't we go with like a 4060?
Okay.
How much do those go for? Oh, you can barely, this one's sold. Here's one, $700 for a 4060 Ti 8GB version. 7060 Evo, that is $400. 8GB again. Here's a 5060 for, look at this. All right, so 4060 Ti, 8GB, $670. 5060, 8GB, $650. Here's a 3050, 6GB for $300. If you buy that, we get to make fun of you. So yeah, not exactly the greatest. What's your card? 7080 XTX?
It's 79 XTX.
Oh, 79. Okay, 79
Yeah.
XTX.
RX 7900 XTX.
Yep, here we go. Here's a Sapphire one for $1,200. Here's another Sapphire Nitro one for $2,400.
Wow, that's a lot.
I don't think you paid that much for your card.
No, I paid $1,000 for mine.
Here's another one, ASRock, $2,700. Who's the seller?
That's
Y.M shop, whoever the heck that is. Okay. Oh my god.
Like, I'm not gonna say Gigabyte's like some sort of bastion of quality, but it's higher than ASRock.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what? Let's say you go with like a 4060-ish level, 5060-ish, or AMD's equivalent of that. Oh wait, hang on. Before we add it, what's below the 9070 XT? Is it like the 9060 XT, I believe? This one goes for, that's $640. Again, whatever brand this is $600. XFX Swift AMD Radeon, that's $770. So I mean, yeah, there's between it's God, it's so expensive. What price do you want to go with? You want to go with around 600 or 700? Where do you want to go? Be nice.
Let's go 7.
All right, so plus 700. Okay. All right, now we got to go with CPUs. Now, CPUs are tricky here because Intel surprisingly can be the better deal sometimes in terms of price, just pure price. But let's go with the old tried and truthful AMD. I'm not going to go with the 90X3 98 because those are a premium. Let's go with the Ryzen 5 7600. That's not bad. That shouldn't be too bad. We're looking at about close to 300. That's 300 without the cooler. This is with a cooler. That's $350. That's $400 for some reason.
I mean, if you go one without a cooler, you can just slap a $20, $30 cooler master on it. So you can definitely skimp on the cooler.
Yeah. So most of these are around basically $300 is what I'm finding here. It's like you have that set because you have the X3D version that jumps all the way up to $550 though from $300. So want to say $300 for the CPU?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, I do want to see what Intel. What is the Ultra?
Wait, they changed their names, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like Ultra 5, I think. Or it's called. How much does those cost? About the same. Okay, the Ultra processor 225. It's not a bad CPU. It's just not better. Yeah, you're looking at 300, 260 without the cooler would be my guess. But for whatever reason for this one, they did just have their refresh and everything like that. So. Because I know those plus versions that they're releasing here soon. So yeah, let's go with 300. Most of these are around $300. So we'll be nice. We'll go $300. Okay. So plus 300. Okay, Okay, so keep in mind right now, we have the RAM, we have the storage, we have the GPU, and we have a CPU. And we are already at $1,800. We're not even done yet. Motherboard. Let's be nice. Let's keep the upgrade path going. We'll go with the AM5 motherboard. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. We've got an Asus one right here. That's 23. That's $230. That's 220. 200. That's a micro board because we want a normal sized board, right?
Yeah, you want a standard ATX.
Yeah, standard ATX. So I should actually say AM5 ATX. Okay. So 230. 220, 250, 300. But again, I know with motherboards, it all depends on the the ports on the back and everything. All the extra stuff. So I don't know. 200, 220. Where do you want to go with the price based on these right here?
Let's go 200.
Let's go 200. All right, we'll be nice. We'll go 200. All right, so 200. 200. Yep. Okay. So we're already at $2,000. All right, what do we got next? We still need cooler. We still need a case and power supply. Okay, let's go easy. Let's go with a case. Okay. I personally, they're actually not too bad in the prices. I want to see how much they are still right now. Corsair.
No, let's say go Corsair.
4000D, I believe it is. Is the one I have. Yeah, these are going up in price. I actually bought this case. I have it for my gaming PC right now, and it was on sale for like under $100. These are a little bit more expensive. I mean, because this right here already says $600, which is obviously more expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little bit more than just a little bit.
Yeah, 600.
That's crazy.
Okay, well, let's just go with an ATX. Okay, here we go. ATX PC.
Why are these Corsairs so expensive? Is it just because they don't make 4000Ds anymore?
It might just be it might be a 1000D or whatever it is now. I'm not really sure. So here we go. So we got some cases here. $50, $60. Here's an $80 one. 60, 70. Thermalake, that's 40, 100 for this NZXT one. NZXT has always been a little bit more expensive, too, if I remember correctly. All right, what do you want to do? 50? We'll do $50 for the case.
Yep, 50 is fine.
All right, we'll do 50.
These are cheap. These are cheap cases. Jesus.
I don't know how good the quality is, but
well, I mean, they're legit brands though.
Yep.
Like it's just, I think
okay.
cases have actually gone down there.
With the let's go power supply, and then we'll go. Actually, no. Before we do power supply, let's do fans. So, what was the fan that you recommended?
It was just CPU, but it was the Cooler Master 212.
Cooler Master. I don't even make them anymore.
Yeah, they might not. That was the one I bought when I was in college. They should still make them, but
well, let's go. Actually, let me type this in. AMD 5 CPU cooler. There we go. Okay, so PC cooler, CPS frozen. I know there are some decent ones you can get. I've heard Thermalite is actually pretty good.
Thermalite's good. It's more expensive, but they make really great fans. What is the brand? The ones they only make brown fans.
Well, based on these prices for these type of fans, why don't we go
Noctuas? That's what it's Noctua.
Yeah, those are a little bit more expensive. So what do you want to say? You want to say between $30, $35, give or take, for these?
Sure.
Okay. Now, granted, one thing we're not taking into consideration is sometimes with depending on what CPU you go with, you do need to have like a dual fan compared to a single one, right? So let's just do 30. That's 3,000 yen. Okay. All right. PSUs, power supplies. What do you want to go with? 850? I think that's because we went with a $700 GPU. And generally the GPUs are the ones that require the most power. I want to say
you could probably get away with a 700, but let's go 850.
Let's go 850. Yeah. Let's go PSU. Let's go 850. Let's see, that's going to give us a Thermalake. We've got whatever the heck that one is. MSI. Corsair 850. So Corsair seems to be the most expensive one at about 160, 170. For some reason this one, because it's white most likely. But we want to make sure it's gold certified, I believe, is minimum.
Gold's generally where you want. Yeah.
And ATX 3.1 is always nice to have, which most of these seem to be very certified. ATX 120, 100, that's ATX, that's gold. You're looking at about 120 after taxes and everything. So you want to go with 120 for the CPU?
Yes, with that.
Or the PSU? Okay. That's 120. Okay. What else are we missing? Got the case.
So we got CPU, GPU, case,
motherboard.
So the case has the fans. Motherboard, PSU.
Got the hard drive.
Got the drives.
I think we got everything.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are looking at a total of, I mean, again, assuming with tax and everything, basically we're looking at $2,200 before tax.
For a mid-level PC.
For a mid-level PC, $2,200. Now, to be fair, that's in yen. So let's do $1,400 basically, if you round up. 1,400 for a mid-range CPU or CPU gaming computer.
I mean, that's terrible, but it's not as terrible as I was expecting.
Right. So if you have, but that's the thing though, if you have USD, it's not terrible. It's still bad, but it's, you know, it's not egregiously terrible. Yen, however, though, I'll leave that there.
Well, and mind you, it's a terabyte of storage. Like you're gonna eat probably looking about 500 after you installed all the basics. Yep. So you have 500 gigs for games, which
is like what, 3 games?
Yeah, it's not much. It is not much. That is,
which means which means you're already looking at getting another terabyte of storage, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is why you can make the argument, just go with the 2 terabyte, but then that 300, the second price right there, that already jumps up to $400 or $500 right there. Which means this jumps up an extra $200, which means we're at $2,400, which already makes this. I'll be nice and do 24. That's $1,500 already right there. So, that's the GPU, that's the CPU, that was the motherboard, that was the cooler. No, that's the case, that's the cooler, and that's the power supply. So anyone claiming that just build a gaming PC? Yeah. Not really the best option for everybody. Mm-hmm. Just letting you know right now.
And that's also if you're sticking with Windows, because you want to play your Fortnites or Apex Legends, slap on 120 or so for Windows too.
Yep, you gotta slap the stuff on there for Windows. And so now when you see 20, so again, let's keep it right here. This $2,200 I guess what it feels like if you're paying with yen. Like again, I acknowledge that. Or you buy a PS5 for under half the price, or if you went with the Pro version, you still have leftover money. So, again, I'm not defending any of these high prices, but I'm just showing where people are coming from. And then, I mean, so let's look at, probably can buy it on here, Switch 2. Switch 2 right now. Oh, they have a Pacopia package set. Japanese only version, I'm assuming. Yeah, Japanese language only system. That is going to cost you basically $600. Switch OLED and normal Switch only buy options. It's normal $400 for the Nintendo Switch. If you did the Mario Kart bundle download thing, that's basically $600, what it feels like paying. Obviously we know Amazon's a little bit more marked up. The Japanese only system. Where is Nintendo? So official site. Let's go to the store. I want to log in right now. Nintendo Switch. So as of right now, the Japanese only system, normal Switch 2, 500. I thought it was cheaper. Okay, maybe it isn't. Okay, $500 is what it feels like paying for the Switch 2. No Mario Kart included, by the way.
Yeah.
If you want the multi-language version, $700. And they don't have the Mario Kart deal anymore. So Pro 2 controller, $100, case $30, terrible camera mic thing, $60, extra Joy-Cons, $100, charging grip $40, and the big carrying case is $100. And then because, as we know, because of storage spaces now, you've got to definitely get the micro SD.
That's another one. Yeah, micro SDs. Oh my god.
Yep.
Ugh,
I mean, if we look at those, micro SDs right now are Switch 2 micro SD Express, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got these little Mario ones, $65, $70. There's a Samsung one, which is 512 gigabytes. I got something, I believe I got this. This is about the price I paid. I think basically $200 for 512 gigabytes.
That's rough what I paid, I think.
Yeah, the SanDisk version of that, $250. Whoever Gigastone is, that is $320. Lexar, which I believe actually has a terabyte version, that's $100. Terabyte is $560.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have a terabyte in my old Switch.
Yeah, but you can't use it for the Switch 2 games, though.
I know, but it's just like I paid less than $100 for that thing, man. Like there's zero reason why these things get so expensive.
Yep. So yeah. Yeah. So basically, if you want the cheapest thing right now in Japan, using yen, go with the Switch 2. If you have a little bit more money or you just have it saved up, go for the PlayStation 5. If you've got a lot of extra money, go for the PC route, which again, are pretty expensive.
Like that is, oh my god. I just don't get how people would buy this stuff. From a PC standpoint, like PC gaming standpoint, like the manufacturers, they're eating good right now because everyone's buying up their stuff. But like consoles and stuff, I just don't get how Sony can get away with these prices.
What happens when
gotta be eating into the revenue?
Oh, when Xbox isn't really giving much of a push, and some people are still buying. I think because the problem right now is that we are basically going into a K-shaped economy, where those with all that extra income are the ones buying a majority of everything. Like, was it like, because Black Friday, like some places saw record sales, but from fewer people, if I remember correctly, or something like that. So Sony's just doing that essentially. They're just like, all right, we're just going to cater to the people who actually have money. Everyone else, you're getting priced out of gaming now, is what's happening. And they're a business. They don't care.
But the problem is they're not a Ferrari. Like that's the problem.
I know.
Sony isn't selling Ferraris. They're selling Toyota Camrys. A bunch of people need to buy these consoles to make it worth their time. And I genuinely believe this is really going to screw them over in the long run. Because been the gimmick of consoles for the longest time. It's just cheaper to play on consoles.
Yep.
Also, they connect to your television. It's really nice. That's why I play consoles. um, I just do not get the long run with this. It's just this is really gonna hose Sony, I think.
Yep. Well, I mean, like you said, we'll see how the market, reacts to this eventually, and maybe down the line in September, and when GTA 6 launches in November, assuming it doesn't get delayed again. I think it's like anything, it's a big gamble right now. So, not the wait and see what's gonna happen here, but it's it will be interesting to say the least, is what I will say.
Everything costs so much, and what's really crappy about all this is you start looking at Apple, and like Apple's all of a sudden becoming price competitive.
Yep.
Apple of all companies is price competitive.
Yep.
Like at the memory prices you're throwing out is like, this is more expensive than Apple prices for memory. Because if you look at like MacBooks and stuff, the upgrades on memory of that used to be just exorbitant. You'd be like, oh my god, why am I paying an extra $100 for 8 more gigs of RAM? All of a sudden, that's like, oh wow, only $100 or more dollars? Only?
So let's see. In my personal opinion, one of the best deals you can get right now if you need some kind of computer is actually a Mac Mini. Like if you have a monitor and a
those things are still a steal.
They are a huge steal. It's not even a joke. Like a Mac Mini is a huge steal for a lot of people. So let's see what we can do. So we can either go with the normal M4 chip or the M Pro chip, which I wouldn't. So let's just go with a M4 normal chip right now. M4. Yep. Okay. So then this is memory right here. So it comes out of the gate with 16 gigabytes. Honestly, for a Mac Mini, for what I use them, because you're not gaming on a Mac Mini, I'd keep the 16 and say fine. Just keep it like that. Like, I honestly would.
So what? So there's a bit of a delay, honestly, but so it's 16, 24, 32. But what's that 48 and 64? Is that if you go up to the Max or the Pro CPU?
Yeah, you got to go up to the M4 Pro. Yeah, you got to go. So if you want 48 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes, you got to go to the Pro. So
does the Pro start at 48 or is it starts at 24?
Pro. So Pro, I pick 12 core CPU, GPU, or 14.
Yeah.
Let's keep that. Yeah. Pro. So I'll go with this. Okay. So the Pro 12 core and 16 GPU core is still 24, 48, 64 gigabytes of RAM.
24. Okay. All right.
If I go 14, 20, same thing. Yeah. So Pro, you get 24, 48, or 64. If you just go with the normal M4 chip, 16, 24, 32.
Gotcha. Because they moved over to 24 on their MacBook Pros and stuff.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know. Personally, for me, I think 16 is perfectly fine for a Mac Mini. That's perfectly doable.
I mean, it's really what you're doing with it. But like,
I mean, if you go up to 24, if you go to 24, that's an extra $300.
Which, again, in a normal economy, that's exorbitant. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Apple, the hell you doing now? Damn, where you get all your memory from, Apple? Dirt cheap.
Wasn't it all soldered onto the same board? So maybe they
it's all this is all soldered on these. The way Apple has been doing stuff now for the last, like, I guess now 6 years. Everything, it's effectively a cell phone. Everything's SoC now. Everything's soldered to the board. There's zero upgradability, and it's all just the reason why everything's so fast with these new Macs is that they're literally soldered to the board and they're next to each other.
Yep.
Computers are so fast, the laws of physics are what determine how fast your computer is now.
And that's why we talked about earlier where I said having this works really well with my Mac Mini because I don't have to, because my Mac Mini, it only has 512 gigabytes of storage on it. This is 2 terabytes right here. That's all I need because I do all my video editing on there and everything. So I just use this. I don't need to worry about that or anything like that. So these Mac Minis do come with 256. If I go to 512, that's an extra $300, extra 600. If I go to a terabyte and 2 terabytes, it's an extra 1,200. So,
storage is upgradable though.
Right.
USB is so fast now.
Exactly. USB-C is pretty fast. So let's just stick with the 256. Let's just stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ethernet. You can buy. Do not pay this amount of money for an Ethernet. You can get online or go to stores and buy better Ethernet. So far we haven't changed anything. Final Cut. If you have Final Cut, by the way, I've had Final Cut since 2016. Still, I just download it anytime I switch over to the new system. So don't need it. Logic Pro. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to say no. Oh, it's some kind of program.
I was about to ask you what Logic Pro was.
It's some kind of program. So if you happen to have something you can trade in, I could say trade in here. I'm going to say I can't trade anything in.
Oh, Logic Pro is a DAW. It's a digital audio workspace.
Okay. So yeah, didn't increase the price on anything. So that in Japanese yen is basically $950, basically $1,000 after tax and everything. So
that's not bad.
It's not bad. And again, if you convert that to, let's just say $1,000, $623 for that Mac Mini.
That's really good.
That's a good deal.
That's actually really good.
That's a good deal. Yeah. That is actually a very good deal.
Not as good as the deal I got off Woot. So you know what Woot is, right? It's Amazon's like kind of, not warehouse, but like they're just offloading a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I
got a Mac Mini. It was an Intel based Mac Mini. So it's an older Mac Mini, but it has 32 gigs of RAM, like 512 SSD. I think I paid like $300 for it.
Not bad.
Absolute steal.
That is.
I just don't really use it.
Did you have to go in person or could you order it online?
It was online.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It sold out within like 20-ish minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a screaming deal.
But again, if you have a monitor and a keyboard already and a mouse, and you're looking for something for more on the production side of things where you need to do work from home, any of that kind of stuff, a Mac Mini is a steal for people. Not again, It's not meant for gaming, obviously, but I use my Mac Mini a lot for not only video editing, but also, just keeping files in order and everything like that. Like it's a good deal. It's a steal, basically, these little Mac Minis. Like I used to do the MacBook Pros and everything for laptops, but I'm just like, I don't take my laptop I never took my laptop anywhere for the last like 5-6 years. And like, cause work always gives me a computer that I can use. And I'm like, I can save over $1,000 just by getting a Mac Mini, hook it up to the back of my monitor and plug in I have a splitter for my, not really called a splitter, but it's a, where I can plug my mouse and my keyboard and everything into a computer, and then I can plug it into the Mac, and I just press a single button and it switches between them. So, because I don't need fast reflexes or anything from my freaking Mac Mini. So, yeah, it's again Mac Mini M4. Man, these things are fast. These are really good. I have an M1 Mac Mini, and that thing is still fast. Like I can render out. Yeah, I mean, I can render out a 1440p hour video on my M1 Mac Mini in under 20 minutes, essentially.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty fast.
It is. On those old Intel ones, or when I was doing it on my laptop back in the days, that would take probably 2+ hours or something like that. Yep.
It's a long time.
It is. I mean, if we look at MacBook Pros, how much do those cost right now? Oh my God.
Yeah. They
Holy
start at like
crap.
13
What
inch,
happened?
Yeah, and that's like a 14-inch, right?
This one 14 inch is $2,800.
Okay, I didn't think it was that bad.
Take a look at the 16. Take a look at the 16-inch, dude. $4,500.
Look in the
What?
American one. Apple.
Holy crap. Jeez, what'd they do? Throw gold into it?
Well, not
Oh,
when I got my work MacBook, it was I think 3,500
God.
because it was a 32 gig M1 Pro.
Dude, when I got my MacBook Pro back in my 5th year of college before I graduated, because originally my MacBook had a spinning disk drive. I think you might have been there when I smashed it to pieces. And I got the one with a normal SSD, not an M.2, an SSD one. So these are still the Intel version ones.
Yeah.
That costs how much did it cost me? $1,400 maybe less. I don't remember the exact price, but it was way cheaper than this. Holy crap.
Yeah. So in the States, it's 1,700 starting for 14, and then 27 for 16.
Jesus. What about the Airs?
Airs you can get for dirt cheap.
Tell that to Japan. 13-inch MacBook Air, $1,900. Or 15-inch,
so you don't get the
2,200.
current M4 ones. They've been selling the M1s still. Like when I buy I have an M1.
This is M. This is an M5.
Well, because you don't buy them from Apple. Because like Best Buy was selling them like M1s, even like Walmart, Costco.
This is the M5 MacBook Air.
Like when I bought mine, it was the M2. I think had already come out, and I bought my MacBook Air for like
the
600.
Neo, whatever this Neo is.
No, the Neo is a MacBook that's built on an iPhone, like what 16. That's the budget line.
Yeah, this is a budget if I've ever seen one. It's not telling me what it's based off of. That 250 gigabytes. Not telling me what the chip is. What's the chip for?
It's an Apple A18 Pro, which is the Apple. So it's the iPhone 16 Pro chip.
That's what I have in my phone right now.
Yeah, so that's a MacBook now. So I mean, that's probably for $600. That ain't bad. That's
here it is. It is wow, not by much. Not by much. It is more expensive than the Mac Mini.
really.
That's $990. The Mac Mini. $940.
Well, unless you really need a laptop, you probably should just buy the Mac Mini.
Oh, easily. No, I'd go with the Mac Mini, no problem. Yeah. No, Mac Mini. That's not even a question.
I mean,
And it's the faster chip. It's the faster chip too. It's the M4
oh,
chip.
100%.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, though, it's still more expensive than MacBook Neo. Because MacBook Neo, it's out of the box, it's done, ready to go.
That's true.
Mac
Yeah.
Mini, you still have to get a monitor.
Yeah. If you don't have a monitor and everything, then yeah, the laptop is more expensive or cheaper.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless though, like what kind of world do we live in right now?
Crazy times, man.
It is just, God, it is freaking crazy right now. I don't know how much more I can deal with this.
Yeah, man, that's why you just unplug, just scout the internet.
I don't want any more lemon. I don't want to
go outside, sit on the bench,
touch
feed
grass.
pigeons, touch grass, feed pigeons, do some fishing. I don't know. Just unplug.
I mean, because I think
it's nothing but bad news.
I mean, let's just wrap this all up into a single package right here. Again, going off of as someone who's off the yen, living in Japan and everything, I get it. US dollars looks a little bit nicer, but a lot of other countries also don't look as nice compared to the States. But in Japan right now, a Mac Mini is going to cost you basically $1,000. A Mac Neo, the MacBook Neo, which is their bottom of the barrel essentially laptop, that is about $990 to $1,000, but it is out of the box. You don't need extra monitors or anything like that. Switch 2 is $500. If you go with the Japanese only version, if you go with the multilingual version, it was $700. If you go with the PlayStation 5 with the new prices, it is $950. If you go with the Pro, the PS5 Pro, that is $1,400. And as we showed earlier on with building a semi-budget gaming PC, that was $2,200. Most likely more because we're already running low on storage based on everything we got to download. So
yeah, fucking fucks.
God, and people wonder why I would love to build a new PC. I have the case because I wanted to start building one. And unfortunately, due to things that were going on at the time and then prices and everything, my next PC is on hold. I need my 2 PCs to hold out for like another 5-6 years, which one of them's coming up on 8 years old already. So I am
God looking good speed, friend, because you're gonna need it.
Badly. It fucking sucks.
It ain't good. It's bad.
It is so bad right now. Chat, how are you doing after seeing these prices? How are you doing right now? Oh God. It hurts. It hurts so much.
Oh yeah.
All right. I think I'm gonna end the stream there.
Worse.
I don't need to get more depressed looking at more prices and everything. So. Chat, I will catch you guys next week for our weekly Friday streams. If you happen to be around sometime earlier next week, though, I might throw in a random Tuesday or Wednesday stream because I still have another week of vacation until the new school year starts for teaching. So stop on by. Finally, after everything that's been done during March, I finally have some actual vacation time. Got to catch up on a lot of videos and everything. There's lots of shorts getting out. So make sure you sub to the channel, follow us, all that fun stuff. And let us know what you're doing with gaming right now. Are you getting a new console? Are you staying on PC? Are you building a PC? Are you just saying F it all and you're going phone? Let us know all your thoughts and everything, because I would love to know what everyone's doing in these terrible times when it comes to being a gamer and these prices. But then again, prices are terrible everywhere you go. It's not just gaming. It's literally everything right now. We live in the bad timeline economy right now, and timelines, and just it sucks so badly. So anyway, though, with that being said, I'm Tallen with Direct Gaming. Thank you again so much for joining us. And again, Lemon, thank you as always for hanging out and giving us your lovely opinions as always. See you guys in the next one. Bye.